He's genuinely just an average guy, which makes the misunderstanding of others toward him much more heartbreaking, especially when he is a mega green flag. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today, we'll be discussing Hooked and Cooked by Hwireul. Before we get started, there will be spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled in this manhwa, go ahead and click off now. No worries, I'll catch you next time. For those of you who decide to stick around, let's go over some content warnings. There may be references to sexual assault, prejudice, excessive drinking, violence, gossiping, racism, based on a fictional race, PTSD, obsession, drugging, kidnapping, and animal abuse, as these things do appear in the manhwa. But if that's good with you, let's go and get started. Hwireul owns and runs his own restaurant. While his food is top-notch, his service skills leave much to be desired, but not for a lack of trying. Unfortunately, Hwireul has a terrifying visage, appearing closer to a mobster than a chef. This scares off most of his clientele, except for a select few drunkards and those brave enough to keep coming back. It's on another slow evening when a boisterous group comes in. They get just drunk enough not to be afraid of Hwireul, but also end up being complete asshats. Though Hwireul appears rough and tumble, he's deep down anything but. And though he tries to calm the wild group, things quickly turn into something violent. Thankfully, before Hwireul has to take a hit, a regular customer jumps in. Hwireul's savior turns out to be Sang-ah, a merman performer at an aquarium. After seeing Sang-ah perform, Hwireul is smitten and desperately wants to grow closer to him. He gets that very opportunity when Sang-ah asks him to be his kissing partner, as merpeople have to consume human fluids in order to turn their tail into human legs. This is a deal that benefits both parties. Sang-ah gets his legs, and Hwireul gets to have a physical relationship with his crush. But as time goes on, feelings and desires begin to change. Fear and uncertainty start to cause tension in this pleasant arrangement, and it isn't long before everything falls apart. To start with, I was so ready to read this. I'm a sucker for merpeople titles, and this one looked intriguing. Not necessarily my preferred art style based on the cover, but I was hoping for something decent. Unfortunately, I should have trusted my gut. This title is as ugly and inconsistent as they come. It has pretty panels, as even the most inconsistent titles do, and the chibis are cute, but the majority of this title is unattractive. This also has uncensored panels, which would usually make it better, but the liquid effect that's used is horrific. It looks like garbage juice or something, and as a result, it ruins the sexy time. It's a real shame too, since this leverages unique merperson anatomy that makes the sexy time all the more interesting. If you're looking for some pretty art with your smut, you're looking in the wrong place. As for the story, I was very interested in it. I love when a character's exterior doesn't match who they are inside. I'm instantly reminded of Ong Ong in this case, which features a man who looks like a mobster and has the strength and skill of a mercenary, but is a sweet, loyal guy deep down. He's also a sub, but that's neither here nor there. Unlike in Ong Ong though, Hwireul does not have a mercenary background. He's genuinely just an average guy, which makes the misunderstanding of others toward him much more heartbreaking, especially when he is a mega green flag. Red flag men are very common across all of my reviews, so seeing someone like Hwireul who cares deeply about consent, dotes on and cares for his partner from the beginning, and is still super dominant in the bedroom is super refreshing. Unfortunately though, as much as I like Hwireul's character and the foundation of the story, the way the story unfolds is not the best. The other side of this pairing, Sang-ah, has an aversion to humans. He mentions how their touch burns him, but for some reason Hwireul's touch doesn't burn him. Apparently this issue stems from a traumatizing relationship he had with a human who used Sang-ah's love to sate his curiosity for mermen. It's understandably traumatic, and I like that Sang-ah can sense Hwireul's kindness, which is why his touch doesn't burn. However, within a few episodes, once Hwireul confesses, his touch suddenly burns Sang-ah. I understand why, but the speed at which we go from enjoyable smutty time to outright rejection is jarring. Sang-ah's background is a blip, the intimate relationship they start is a blip, and their breakup is a blip. This is just far too short for any of the story to feel even remotely satisfying. What I did find satisfying though is that while Hwireul does come in to rescue Sang-ah, Sang-ah does a lot of the rescuing himself. It keeps Hwireul as the secret softie and gives some level of agency to Sang-ah as he kicks his kidnapper's ass. Unfortunately, this bit of satisfaction is just as short as the rest of the story, moving on to them reconciling in a rather corny way. Sang-ah grabbing and kissing Hwireul, calling him his boyfriend after just rejecting him in a rather harsh way, gave me whiplash. Hwireul deserved a bit more time and retribution in my opinion, but here we are. With all that being said, I'm going to be pretty succinct. I would not recommend this. I love Mer and how their anatomy is explored in smutty titles, but the poor art style and whiplash whirlwind of a romance made it hard to enjoy any part of this title. If you just desperately need a merman bottom, this might satisfy you, but be prepared for some disturbing art choices. I was very disappointed with this one. So, have you read Hooked and Cooked? If so, what do you think? Do you agree with my assessment? Do you not? Let me know in comment below. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Bye!